Hey, it's the Fish Guy with Something Fishy, and on today's episode of Fish Guy TV, we're going to talk about salinity or salt within the aquarium and how to measure that. So most of you will be probably familiar with the hydrometer, which is a fairly inexpensive way to measure salt or the salt content within your saltwater reef or saltwater fish only tank. So basically, the way that you use a hydrometer, it's very simple. Just take the hydrometer, stick it into your aquarium. You're going to fill it completely up. Some hydrometers have a line where you fill it to. On this particular one, if you fill it higher than it needs to, it actually just drains right out the bottom. So this one's foolproof. You want to take the hydrometer, and inside of it is going to be this float. That float is going to be raised based on the salinity or salt in the water. Salt makes it more buoyant. Notice how high it is. That's a false reading influenced by air bubbles. Simple way to get rid of that, tap it a couple of times, make sure there's no air on the lever, and then take a look at where the salinity is reading. There's a chart right down the side. It's in both salinity and specific gravity. The reading I'm getting right now is about 1.025. For a reef tank, that's great. If it was a saltwater fish only, what we do is we keep it a little bit lower at about 1.020. Now remember, if you're buying reverse osmosis water from our store, our salt water pre-mixed is at 1.020. A little bit lower, that's so that you can use it for a saltwater fish only. And if you need it for a reef tank, you're gonna have to add a little bit of salt. The other thing is, your tank will have evaporation, which is naturally gonna change the salinity in your tank over time. So regardless of buying freshwater RO or saltwater RO, you always need to manage your salt on your own. And the hydrometer is a good way to do that. Now let me also show you something else. The hydrometer costs about $10 or $15. It's not a very sophisticated piece of equipment, and sometimes you will get the readings to vary quite a bit on that type of a device. What Something Fishy uses, if you bring your water to us or if we're servicing your tank in the field, is called a refractometer. A refractometer is a lab quality piece of equipment for measuring salinity, and it runs about $80 or $90. These refractometers should be calibrated on a weekly basis to make sure that they're set properly. When set properly, this is the most accurate way to measure your salinity in your tank. Remember how important salinity is. A salinity too high or too low can result in health issues within your fish and corals. So having accurate salinity is very important, and the variation that can happen with a hydrometer versus a refractometer can definitely cause problems in your tank. So this is well worth the investment for your fish and for your corals and for their ongoing health and good husbandry. So basically, the way you use this is you put some salt water on your lens here, you cover it up, and then you look in and you see pirates. Pirates, I'm afraid. Pirates are attacking. No.